guys. It's Derek Everitt and Adam Beesley from the Deathpiles and Taxes podcast that you're listening to right now.
Your favorite account. I know. It's the greatest thing in the whole world.
A lot of you have been asking what you can do to help the podcast out, and seriously, all we want is a review.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's a 5-star review, but if not, be fair, at least a 4.
We know you're listening. Like I said, we see the numbers. We're all over the world. Like I said, it's just we see it. We appreciate everyone listening. Help us get a little higher up there. Help us get more new
Helps
listeners.
with the algorithms. People can help find us out, and it really does help. So if you can go to Apple, iTunes, that's where a lot of you are already listening, or wherever you're listening.
Spotify, Apple, all of these different things. They're all out.
Wherever you listen, give us you don't even have to write a review. Just give us 5 stars. If you want to give us a review, that's cool too. We appreciate it, and keep listening.
Thanks for listening, guys.
We sell your items online. Go ahead, declutter your life. Have a yard sale or let eBay do the work. From the thrift store shopping to that wallet popping. There are 2 things in life that are certain. Deathpiles in Texas. With Derek Everitt and Adam Beesley.
Well, all right, buddy. It is that time of the week. It's podcast time here at Deathpiles and Taxes. Mr. Easy Money, Mr. D-Roy, Mr. Dre, Mr. Scumbag. Those are all things that you can call him. But you know what you do? You don't call him late for dinner. That's what I know.
Well, I showed up. We did the deed. Adam took good care of me, and now we're doing a podcast.
Got the old taxes done today. I'm not going to lie, Derek, he tried to bamboozle me. One of the things you have to do as an accountant, you have to know more about somebody's taxes than they know about their own, more about their own paperwork. They throw over this fat pile of stuff, and I got to decipher through it, and threw a curveball at me. He tried sneaking in some of those 2020 documents, not 2021.
It's all about, I don't know, I just push print.
Yeah, push print.
Push print, file, give to Adam.
When you got all those tens of hundreds of dollars, you just got money flying over the place. You don't know where it's coming in from.
I know there's something accountants like about a lot of papers, man, or something like that. There's some song, something like that.
Well, I did hear somebody the other day that said, I can't remember which song it was, but the devil and the tax man should have the same zip code.
That's good. Some people claim that you do.
I'm just the guy that deciphers it. I'm on everyone else's side. I'm not, I'm definitely not the one spending it.
And you're not the one declaring what people pay. You just follow the rules. You're just the good soldier.
I just make sure I follow them to the best of my ability. So
I just do what they tell me to do.
Yes, sir. So one of the fun things about your year-end stuff, you kind of get a chance to compare where you're at. And one of the things we talked about, it was your volume was down, your dollars were up because you were selling higher ticket items. Isn't that right, D-Roy?
Yeah, that was the goal this year, and I think we talked a little about going into this next year. It seems things are down right now, but over the year, things go up, things go down, but trying to stay consistent is where it's at. So a lot more cards and graded stuff like we've talked about. So the actual item itself, I wasn't going to all the garage sales or all that stuff like we've talked about in the past as much. And I'm not putting up like all the random stuff. I still have some random stuff up there, but I focused a lot more on cards and specifically like we've talked about, the wrestling cards. And for me, that's where my money's been. And I did better this year because I focused on it, I believe. So
a lot of money.
And so, and I could branch into different cards or I could go back into T-shirts or whatever. But I think just focusing on something, that's been where I've spent a majority of my time when I'm out searching for stuff, when I'm outsourcing. I'm not running all over the store. I'll just go to one section, and if it's there, great. And if not, don't worry about it. Or when I'm, on Whatnot or eBay looking for things to flip, I just go and look for one certain item that I know very well, and that's what I'm focused on. So it seems to be doing all right.
We've done this for a long time. We hope you consistent listeners every week, and if you're new, you kind of jump in the program, see kind of where we're at. We speak gospel truth. The things we speak, they all make sense. The house of money is open to all. And I think sometimes, hopefully, people are catching on. They're catching the fire. They're trying it out. Like I said, you never know until you try. I had no idea until Derek, says, hey, this is what I do. He's always talked about it for years and years, but I didn't finally take some action, which, speaking of, I need to print off my stuff for my taxes. I'm guilty just as all. I've got a lot of other things, but you won't know until you try. And I think you'd be surprised at how fun and not easy, but enjoyable it can be. But I think we might have created a monster, Derek.
I think there's a few out there, but what did we do this time?
For those of you that don't know, and you tried the new Whatnot app, apparently we've made some opportunity for a friend, Jimmy. Apparently he's gotten into it pretty deep.
You're gonna name names, huh?
Well, I didn't say which one.
Yeah. Friend A. Let's go. New friend J.
Friend J.
Friend J. Yeah, I had a nice conversation with him, and he's been enjoying it. He's been out there, but it's one of those things. And go give it a try if you haven't tried it yet. I'm still awaiting approval. I don't know. I probably should follow up a little more. I don't know who to follow up with, and at this point, it's what it is. But it's one of those things where when you get on there and you can buy a card for under $5, and one thing that Jimmy did say to me is,
friend Jay
said to me is if I'd opened a $20 pack of cards and I pulled this, I'd been happy with it. So
sure.
When you can buy those things, but it adds up, and you can get some late nights. And man, look at this! Oh, I can't believe he has this. No one's bidding on that. And before you know it, you've racked up a pretty good bill. And for collectors, it's cool because you can get what you want put in your collection. For guys like me and you, who use it more as I buy stuff, but with the idea of I can buy that for $5, I can get it graded, or I can hold on to it, and I can sell it for $15 to a couple hundred, depending what the card is down the road. That's where my mind goes. So
yeah. Can I tell you a fun story about my latest purchase on the Whatnot?
Yeah, is this what? So when we were doing the taxes, you said you got some good stuff, and you couldn't tell me nothing about it. Is that where we're going?
That's exactly where we're going.
What did you get? What did you not do?
Well, I tell you what, there's
the WM. They should be sponsoring us.
Coincidences are not. I believe in signs. I believe that things happen for a reason. I got on this Whatnot, and essentially what it is, it's an online auction type thing, and you can
basically Instagram Live meets eBay.
Yeah, and going back to when you were slinging the stretchy pants, you get on the Facebook Live and you get numbers and things, and that's essentially a lot of what it is, but for men or women or genders neutral, whatever we want.
Depends what you're after. Some things are more predominantly male focused. Some things are more, what women are after, but the algorithm finds what you like and what you spend your time on, and it offers you more of what you're after.
So I've been really pumped. I know a couple years ago we were talking about this World Cup. I'm more of an Oilers fan, not a soccer man. But
you say that week after week, but then week after week you come in with more hot soccer take.
Well, soccer cards. That's where it is. I've got some older vintage stuff, got some really, really cool Pele cards, some Diego Maradona, which all these guys, I know Pele, some Zico. Apparently Zico's like Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, all these things I didn't know about. So once you get a little closer to the World Cup, I'm going to really get those up there. But on the Whatnot, you can you basically pay for a slot. There was the bidding, and you bid for a slot. So what happens is this person that was doing the auction had 3 boxes of cards, and in these boxes, pulled out packs, and he opens them up, and what happened is the slot that you pay for, you get any card from that particular team, or in this instant, country. So I've spun the wheel. I think I paid like $10, and I got all the cards for the country of Colombia. They do the online spinning wheel, and and it continues to circulate down. I think there was like 25 different countries, and I got Colombia. And I have no idea anybody from Colombia, anything like that. So kind of did just fun thing. I showed friend Brian that that's how it worked, and so that's what I got. I got my cards shipped to me. I got them last week, and there's probably 20 cards in there. Some really cool laser ones that are the color ones and numbers, and I had like 3 of those, and the seller sent them in those nice cases. But, I had no idea who they were. It didn't really mean anything to me. And the one card was probably worth, $40, $50. So I made my money back. But coincidence, I call it not. Client came in and he owns a nonprofit and they do humanitarian work all over the world. So that being said, D-Roy, guess where he was going 2 days after he met with me?
Probably not Columbia.
He's going to Columbia.
Oh, my.
So I said, man, you know what? I think it'd be really cool. I said, so I gave him the stack of cards. I'm like, hey, you're going down there. They're going down to build schools. You take these down there with you and you pass these out. And he was just on, this guy was on cloud nine because he knows how much it would mean to these kids that live in these poorer countries that, are literally scraping to get food and water. And here we are spending hundreds and tens of dollars on cards that are really meaningless. So I gave him that fat stack of stuff, and he was super excited. So I'm going to follow up with here in a couple months when he gets back. But I just thought that was really cool.
Oh, as our good friend Jim Harold would say, sometimes things are too much of a coincidence to be a coincidence.
Wasn't he on the old podcast?
Yeah, you were a little scared. He's coming back.
No.
So, spoiler alert.
No, that's the guy who talks about the crazy phenomenal
coincidences and things that happen. You can share that story with him. He'd be happy to hear it.
I don't know about that.
Well, it's happening.
Last time I talked to him, I felt probed.
Last time he talked to you, he felt probed.
That's true. I know he did.
We know it was.
He made me uncomfortable, and I made him uncomfortable.
And he agreed to come back and do it again next year.
Oh, so. That's great. That's good news. So that was my funny coincidence for buying Colombian cards.
You never know, those box breaks, that's the other thing. There's all different variations and ways to do it. So depending on what show you do, what group, they'll run it differently. But Adam did a box break where they spin the wheel, make the deal, and he ended up being a Columbia man.
Oh, I like that. Spin the wheel, make the deal.
Have you been back on, or you been too busy?
No, that was 2 Saturdays ago, I think, or even, it was 2 Saturdays ago. So I haven't really got back in there. I'll be honest, D-Roy, I'm struggling. Time is of the essence. We're burning down. By the time this airs, probably tax season's almost over or it's happening. Trying to get ahead of the game. D-Roy's going to be wearing his hula skirt.
Hula skirt. I'm deciding whether or not coconut or topless for the top.
The moo-moo.
Oh, that'd be good.
You should buy you a moo-moo.
I should.
Get you some macadamia nuts.
I don't see any reason why not.
Heading out to Hawaii from card sales. That's really, I mean, we joke a lot. We talk about this. There is money to be made if you're willing to hustle. D-Roy's back down to the 410s, gets up early in the morning, cranking. And then on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, he's taking his hobby and making money at it. Do you still feel like that? Or do you kind of feel like, man, this is a grind. I really wish I didn't have to do it. Or are you still seeing enough financial benefit to be selling online?
No, it's still interesting. It's still fun. That's the thing. If it ever does become a grind or whatever, you're in control, so you can slow it down on yourself, or you can move the needle up if it needs to be. Sometimes I'm probably a little too lazy. I think, man, if I was to really grind down like I could, what could you do? But you also need to remember that people around you that you spend your time with, need a little time. Like you can't just be at work all day, every day. You need to life balance out a little bit. So it's still fun. I mean, I think I went from, looking for everything kind of like we talked about earlier that might not be as fun to things I enjoy more. But even if it was just, say I was picking up railroad ties or something that were meaningless to me, I had no connection with, but you can still make this kind of volume on, it would become interesting and you'd learn about it. So, cards aren't for everybody. Designer women handbags aren't for everybody. Specialty T-shirts aren't for everybody. Chlorine tablets, like just find what works for you, and what you find interesting, and just start doing it. It might not start off as making multiple thousands of dollars, but think about it this way: go back 10 years ago or whatever, and say, hey, and this is where a lot of our people starting off are. Hey, you can make an extra $100 a week or an extra $100 a month.
Yeah,
an extra $1,000 a year it's not bad, especially if you're working paycheck to paycheck, or you're looking for a little freedom, or a little, a concert's coming up, or you want to go out to a nice dinner or something like that. That $100 a month could really help you out in that way.
Yeah.
And you can do it easily, and then you're like, oh, well, this worked. And you kind of roll it. It's a slow dime. It's not the get rich quick scheme. We've said that millions of times. It's, get wealthy slowly and grow gradually and grow into it. And I don't know. I think if me and you and all the people that we've talked to can do it, there's no reason that anybody can't find it and have some success with it if that's what they want to do.
Yeah, I mean, it's just fun. It really is. And, like you're talking about your home life versus your work life. I mean, even when you're watching shows, like you have a mind that thinks, it's especially we talked about Stranger Things. I mean, these retro things. It seems like everything's, pulling a what do they call it? A reback or a remake again.
Reboot.
A reboot. That's what it is. Yeah, reboot your computer. I've had to do a lot of that this week. But these reboot things, it's like, oh man, we can pull up some cool stuff. And I think, we had that this week. I know a friend of the show, Mr. Pelican, he's going through, reliving the early 90s, He had all of these things that he's pulling out of his old bedroom, and got some Jordan stuffs, all these different items that, strangely or not, are now worth way more than what you paid for them in the early 90s.
A $2 poster could be worth hundreds if it's in the right condition, or thousands if it's the right thing. I mean, don't sleep on anything. Pop culture it's a huge thing in our country. People have their celebrities, they have their things they're into, whether that was, anime and comic books, or whether it was sports and Michael Jordan, or movies and monster trucks, or whatever. I mean, you might think, oh, that was a weird thing to be into, but I sell pro wrestling cards, and it's had its popularity and heyday, and there's a certain niche for it. But if you just go ask a random person in the street here where we live, hey, what do you know about pro wrestling, or what do you think about Roman Reigns right now, or whatever, they look at you like you're goofy and have no clue. But I go to the right areas, I find the right things, and I can make hundreds, if not thousands, of dollars off of this. It's the same. I mean, multiplied if you do something that's a lot more popular. I mean, your movies, your entertainment, there's a lot out there. And like Ab's saying, while we're sitting there watching a show or whatever, I can be on my phone watching a Whatnot stream, or searching like on eBay or whatever, saying, oh, that might be popular. I wonder, if this product placement, I just saw Pepsi, or I saw something with Coke. I wonder if I can find something similar, or these colors, or this style. I mean, it's just keeping your mind going. It's
fun. It's looking for opportunities where you might not have seen them before, and I've been able to do that. With different items online. I was really able to do it with real estate this year, and that was a good fun thing for us. And it's just learning how to make money. It's working smarter, not harder.
Yeah, that's the thing. Everybody's in the same pool. And it's just showing. I mean, if you're willing to do the work, there's a reward out there for you. I wanted to bring this up, Adam. Have you heard anything? I know you've been busy about the eBay vault that's been announced.
I think I know about it. You tell me.
So eBay's made some announcements. I think they're trying to compete with. There's a few other places out there, even the Whatnot, which we've talked about. I think they're going to kind of tweak and allow you to do some live auction type things is coming, but. The eBay vault, and I know we don't cover a lot of the headlines. We used to kind of do more of the stories and stuff. There's enough places out there now that if you want it, me and Adam aren't going to be breaking news. Like, we're recording, we try to get a few ahead, but we're not going to be the ones out there giving you the late breaking stories, or, this update means this or that. We'll tell you a little bit about it, but we try to keep it fun and light. We try to be a little more entertaining than hardcore reseller news, just because that's how we are. That's our personality, and right now with our schedules and stuff, by the time we say it, if you're really into it, you've heard it.
Yeah.
So we're not just going to run out and put this up the day we record it. That's just our flow right now. That could all change, but that's how it is right now.
eBay Vault.
eBay Vault is giving you an opportunity. They're buying a big warehouse.
That's what I thought.
And they'll keep everything on site. So it's kind of like some of those other apps that we've talked about.
Yeah, Amazon stuff.
Where you buy fractional shares of cards and things.
Okay.
What are those, Rally and Collectible or something like that?
Yeah.
So say you sell your big Pele card,
Yeah.
and it goes for hundreds of thousands of dollars or something like that. Somebody that buys that can say, well, I don't want that at my house. Somebody's going to rob me for it.
Oh, they hold it in the
You
vault.
can just keep it in the vault, and then you want to turn around and sell it. You can just sell it from the vault. You can never have the actual card, and they just hold on to it, and you kind of flip it that way, or you can have your collection stored there. Also, there's going to be the opportunity that say, me, you, and Painter want this Mickey Mantle card, but we can't afford, $50,000 or whatever. We each put in a fractional amount, and we can own parts of it, but it's all held there. So if you're selling cards, I think they can see that the market's going that way. I think they can see that, things are going to be a lot more valuable. So they're figuring out ways, and they're copying kind of what's been going on, being successful in other places.
Yeah.
To where, okay, maybe I want to buy a Babe Ruth card. I got $2,000. I can't buy one, but I can buy a fraction of that, or I can buy a percentage of that. And then when it sells, you can either sell your share, or you can buy more shares or whatever to own the card, or if it goes up in a couple of years, you can flip it, that kind of a thing. So those opportunities are coming. They just announced that they're going to do that. I think that's good news for people that are doing what me and you are doing, because that means card values are just going up.
Yeah, they're just everything's going up.
And it's a lot nicer if I can just ship my card into eBay and they hold it. You're not going to get the, hey, I didn't get it, or this isn't what I thought it would be, or I don't agree with this grade. Because sometimes people get a little weirded out or a little crazy about things. If it just gets shipped to eBay and they hold on to it, then, they just say, hey, I got it and it's here.
Yeah, now eBay's kind of handling that aspect of life.
Which I'm sure will come with a little more fees on some of it. You'll have to pay percentages.
Oh, fees, come on.
I mean, all that's going to happen. So just be aware of that. But.
That is the hard part. I mean, you just have to build it into your pricing. I mean, I do the same thing here. I mean, as my fees go up, most people understand it, and everything costs a little bit more. So you have to be able to charge a little bit more to cover up those differences, because there's no reason that you should have to make less on different items. Keep your profit margins and know where you're at. And that brings me to one thing that we showed, or we kind of talked about, was doing your taxes, your inventory, your beginning inventory versus your ending inventory. Because that's the thing. I mean, you're in this spot where you've got so much goods that you have to look at it as, if you took everything that you spent and, you sold it all, and seeing how much you're storing, and that's really what you're looking for, is how much do you have on hand, and how much would you make if you liquidated everything. That's kind of what you look at for your cost of goods sold, and also your ending inventory. Those are things that you all have to learn. And again, most people overcomplicate it. I've had some people that are buying gaylords of random items, the Amazon box breaks and different things, or even like your cards. You don't have to have a line item per thing, especially when you have, 500, 800, 1,500 different items. It's going to be difficult to track every one of those, how much they cost. So I'm a big proponent of doing an average cost on all of the items to kind of get you where you need to be.
Well, yeah, and Adam broke it down. Hey, you made this much per item this year. Yeah. So for me, I can look on eBay and say, okay, I got this much listed. This is my average cost per item.
Yeah.
And go something like that. Or, when you bring home stuff, you kind of got a record of what you're getting. You can do a quick count of, I got this much approximately waiting to be listed. It's probably at this valuation, and go with that.
I think the big thing is don't overthink it. Put it on paper. Find an accountant that understands what you're looking for. I mean, we know we've got listeners all over. So, and my capacity is only so much, and, we'd love to take care of you, but right now, it's just not possible. We throw it out all the time. The Not Your Dad's CPA, really good. Like I said, he's here located where we're at. There's other online accountants that can definitely help you out. The world has changed. You don't have to go into walk into your local big box store, or walk into the grocery store to, get your taxes done. Get online, find out. There's qualified individuals that understand what you're doing and be able to really give you the good advice once you kind of break down your numbers.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of that. People that just analyze, overthink things. I want to do this, but I don't know how. You're listening. I was like, I've been listening for years. I just don't know how to list something or whatever. just do it. Like, the easiest way to do it is to start. You'll make mistakes. You'll learn from those mistakes. You'll grow. You'll say, I don't like selling these Seinfeld games or whatever Adam started off selling.
I did.
And you'll figure out what you like. Or you'll go to the thrift stores and say, okay, there's money in this. You're going to lose some along the way, too.
Yep.
Like, it's not a perfect... Like, if you're not losing along the way and learning, then I guess you're just a prodigy kid. I don't know. But, like, I mean, you'll get some stuff that you'll be lucky to break even with, but you'll get other things that you'll sell for, hundreds of percentage more than what you bought them for. And it's just learning and growing and doing that. But at the end of the day, your wallet's a little thicker and you're a little happier and you have a little more comfort or freedom in your life. And that's worth more than the money itself. It's just to have that in the back of your head. Hey, if things slow down at the day job and I need to get a new job, I have a little cushion. I'm not just going on unemployment and trying to figure. You're not in a panic. I don't know. There's just some of that to me that tells me I have a little more freedom. If things go bad, I can take a day off. I don't need to worry about, I'm not going to get paid or whatever. I, want to go to Hawaii, want to go with the family and stuff. I don't have to think, well, how are we going to do this? Like, I'll just take care of it. Like, that's nice. That's just something that 10 years ago, I don't think I'd have been able to do or think this was going to be possible. To now, it's reality.
And when you say don't think, you and I both know 10 years ago it wasn't a reality. You didn't get it. And that's, I think, kind of where we live at. Society is changing. People are understanding that, it used to be, the only way to get an education was to pay to go to a university, somewhere that there are qualified teachers. But, and that's still a really good option for a lot of people. And people would come away with, hey, look, I paid all this money. I have this piece of paper. I have my diploma that now says I'm quote unquote smart. But it isn't the same, and you have to be willing to understand that education comes in so many different aspects, and if you don't make money on something, you treat it just like an education, because it is the same thing. You're just learning in a different field, in a different avenue, and education is the key to life, like learning new things every day. I mean, I still try to do that because you want to become smarter, you want to become, more involved in different things. Once you become stagnant, I think that's really where problems become. What they call it, the devil's tool is being idle. Unless you're, moving, shaking, figure some things out, do some fun things in life that, you'll feel good about what you did that day.
Yeah, I mean, I don't get too political around here, but I'm just going to say people are like, they get outraged about things, or they want help or contribute, or we got wars and things, and think, well, I can't do anything, I can't help. If you were to sell something and say, I'm going to give all the proceeds that I get to whatever your cause is, whatever you're feeling about, or even a fractional amount of it, if you said, I'm going to give 2% or 1%, I'm going to sell this stuff, and I'm going to give it to this whatever, whether it's a political party or whether it's a campaign or, a country's charitable donation, you can do that. And it makes you feel like you're able to not just see problems. Because a lot of people just sit there, that's too bad, I wish I could do something. Or, they just kind of, I don't know what they're... You can actually go sell a pair of your old Doc Martens, and of that $40, give half of it to wherever. You can do things like that. But you got to take the opportunity. You got to do it. Like, that's all there is to it. You got to just not sit around and say, I don't know, I can't, or that's too bad. Like, you can actually take action, and whether it's eBay, it's whatnot, it's, local sales, it's Amazon. There's a lot of opportunity out there right now for people in this field, and it's not going anywhere.
No, it's not.
It's only growing, but the quicker you get in, the quicker you get established, the more opportunities that are going to come your way.
Yeah, and I mean, they still call it, people might think it's not, but this is the home, the land of opportunity. If you're willing to work, there's money to be made. I know we've got a lot of international listeners, and I'm sure that, they enjoy where they live. But, man, I'm telling you what, every time I hear about it, all I can say is God bless the USA.
Yeah, and we were talking a little bit earlier about, it was a different conversation about people, how easy it is for them to go find love or whatever online now.
Oh, whoa.
And the opportunity, that people will just go and you can... When we were growing up, or more in our range, you had to be from the same area or get introduced to somebody, you'd date them, and that was more the old-fashioned way. Now you can get online, you can find somebody all around the world. That's the same way with business, and that's the same way with selling stuff. It used to be you'd have to open up a brick-and-mortar store, you had to know somebody, you had to get, loans from the bank, you had to find you a warehouser or somebody that would wholesale to you and go that route. Now you can go online, and you can find opportunities all around the world to get inventory or items. You can bring those items to wherever you're at. You can sell them back online to somebody halfway across the world, and you're just kind of more of a middleman. And the opportunities there, you don't need a store, you don't need a loan from the bank, you don't need all these things, especially not to get started. And, you can make money that way. You can make careers that way. You could not leave your house and have a fulfilling career anymore. Whereas back, if you were telling that to your grandpa, they just laugh at you, and I mean they're going down and getting bloody knuckles every day to provide for the family. It's just things are changing. People get scared of innovations. They get scared when they hear robots are going to start doing this or that, or this kind of stuff's going to take over. Like, you just got to find the windows of opportunity there. Don't act or react out of fear, but look for the opportunities and the growth and potential there. And like Adam's saying, you have to evolve with it. You can't just stay stagnant. You got to evolve with what's coming out, and anybody can do it. I don't care if you're 80 years old or if you're 10. Like, you can find a way, and you might not be able to do it as successful as somebody, right out of college in their 20s age, but you can find what works for you, and you got life experience, whichever range you're at. If you're older, you've seen a lot of things. If you're younger, you know what trends are. Like, people, you can find things. So don't be intimidated. Don't let it scare you. I guess my thing is, don't live out of fear that the world's just going to pass you by and you can't do anything about it. That's where I'm at today.
Yes, sir. And most people have a cell phone. There's a lot of power and information there. So hopefully it gives you a little dabble of some information. If you haven't got your taxes done, you're probably too late, or you're going to probably pay some penalties. Hopefully you send some money in. So, D-Roy, appreciate you coming in. We're in the new studio, fully loaded, the nice couch. We've got some chairs. Fully padded. I feel like we're in a good spot, buddy.
Yeah, it's a good place to be. It's going to be an exciting year. I'm, looking forward to what's going to happen, what's going down. See if we can get on the whatnot. See if I can sell some stuff to the vault. A lot of opportunity going ahead, so I'm excited for it.
So, D-Roy, that being said, my friend, there are two things in life that are for certain.
That would be your death piles and your taxes.
Well within our rights to use this song. We're aware that preaching copyright is wrong. With lots of dedication, we've researched the legislation, and this music has nowhere else it belongs. Derek is the king of Deathpiles, and Adam does his taxes all the while. Deathpiles and taxes, selling stuff online in between. Deathpiles and taxes, no copyright infringement to be seen. Derek is the king of Deathpiles, and Adam does his taxes all the while. Deathpiles and taxes, selling stuff online in between. Deathpiles and taxes, no copyright infringement to be seen. Deathpiles and taxes, selling stuff online in between. Deathpiles and taxes, no copyright infringement to be seen.
Well, it's tax time, and like everyone else, you got to file your taxes. And if you're a reseller, there's so many things and questions that you're going to have as far as sourcing, mileage, what deductions can and not take. So That's what we're here to do. Here at Adam Up Accounting, if you got questions or looking to get your tax return filed, go ahead and reach out to us. Go to the website, adamupaccounting.com. You can reach out to us here on the podcast at Deathpiles and Taxes. We'd love to help you out, put you in the right directions, take care of your taxes so that you can feel with some reassurance that your taxes are getting taken care of properly. So there you go. Look forward to tax time and hope we can help you out.